America.
What do you see?
A land that, defined nationally, separates us by borders.
Defined geographically, it connects us by one single landmass.
What is America?
Who is an American?
That's a good question. What does an American mean to me?
Americano es como estar en un equipo.
To be an American is to be a part of a lot of different cultures and a lot of different things.
No hay una, digamos, una definición como, hey, tú eres de acá, tú eres de allá. Todos somos americanos.
We wanted to travel the Pacific coast, searching for waves to surf and rocks to climb.
We wanted to see old friends and make new ones and bring back their stories as well as our own.
Americano, es un continente nomás.
You know, I call myself an American because that's what I am. I mean, what am I going to say?
Yo nací en América, nací en Panamá. Panamá es parte de América.
America.
Beauty.
Looking at America not as a nation, but as a people, we set out on a journey from Alaska to Argentina in search of a land without borders and a good adventure.
The whole idea of this road, just going for, you look at a map and I mean, it's 10,000 miles down there, you know? It's really exciting.
My name is Zach Hill. I'm from Northern California and I work with kids. When I'm not working, I spend my time making art and surfing.
My name's Scott Cherry. I'm originally from Northern California and now I live in New Mexico. I'm a carpenter and a photographer, but what I like to do most is get outside and go rock climbing.
Scott and I met in high school. He had this little green Volkswagen Bug with no headlights that we were always piling into.
We first started driving south to Santa Cruz for the day. Zach was 14 and I had just got my driver's license. He was always wanting to search the coast for waves, and I was always saying, let's go.
In 1999, we followed the Pan American Highway to Costa Rica, exploring the coast of Central America. On our way back, with the anxiety that our trip was ending, we came up with this thought. Let's drive from Alaska to Argentina and check out the entire Pacific coast.
Oh yeah, Alaska to Argentina? How fun would that be?
I've probably spent more time on the road with Scott than any other person in the world, and looking at being crammed in the car with someone for 8 months is a little frightening.
It's a tremendous amount of time to be stuck with anyone. Things can get a little crazy, but we always seem to have a good time.
This is a story about two friends and a 20,000-mile road trip, but more importantly, it's the stories of the people we met from one end of the world to the other, making their lives in this great land called America.
We decided to start our trip on the island of Unalaska in the Aleutian Chain, which begins the coastline we intended to traverse to the island of Tierra del Fuego.
Sitting on a plane heading thousands of miles in the opposite direction of our final destination, it was hard to visualize the outcome of what we set out to accomplish. It became more clear as the plane descended into Dutch Harbor, and we got our first sight of the Aleutian Islands and the beginning of our story.
Welcome to Dutch Harbor. The time is 4:24. For your continued safety, please remain seated until we come to our final stop. Please watch your step going down the stairs, and if you would, please walk around the wing tip ascend to the terminal.
On the surface, Dutch Harbor is a lonely place, far from everywhere, an industrial outpost surrounded by raw wilderness that looks like a giant golf course. It's also the biggest fishing port in the United States.
We picked out Dutch Harbor on a map, hoping to find surf, but with little idea of what to expect. Standing there on the street with our luggage, we felt a bit lost. And then up walked Sam Valenti, who turned out to be Dutch Harbor's lone surfer.
So here you are, it's Dutch Harbor. It's about halfway out the Aleutian Chain, and occasionally some swells do hit, but that's more winter time.
2 minutes with Sam, and we realized we should have been here 6 months ago, and that surfing probably wasn't going to be on the agenda. But he showed us around town and gave us some insight on the life as a fisherman in Dutch Harbor, Unalaska.
My name's Sam Valenti. I was born in New York, Rochester, New York, and I grew up mostly in Southern California. In my mid-20s, I left there to kind of do some traveling around, as I say, one last stab at childhood. Finally wound up here in Alaska, which is what I call home now. I live on a boat, and I spend 8 months a year up here fishing. What I like to do more than anything is surf, and to see good surf, and to be in it. But I'm like everybody. I mean, seeing people you haven't seen for a long time. Hey, how's it going, man? All right. To me, the American dream and the very essence of what I consider an American is a person whose goal in life is quite simply just to make their children's life better than theirs was. And I use the example of all the immigrants that come here and these immigrants that make America the great place that it is. I mean, anybody that's pursuing that is, I would say, is a great American.
While Sam works here to support a life somewhere else, mother and daughter Sharon Livingston and Larissa Syverson represent a culture that has lived on these islands for thousands of years.
Even though I lived in the States for 20 years, it was like I was always sitting on top of a picket fence. And it was just so relaxing to finally come home.
Actions definitely speak louder than words in this time we're in. It's a weird time to be alive. It's an exciting time to be alive. A lot of people are forgetting their past, and I don't want the elders to think that I'm forgetting.
We have this thing in our culture. When you're little, you are assigned an acha, and an acha is kind of like your best friend, and it's usually an older person. The older person is taking care of the younger person and watching over that younger person when they're younger and helping them learn things they need to know to live a good life.
When you make a friend here, it's a friend for life, no matter what.
Our time here had ended. We boarded a ferry that would take us down the Alaska Marine Highway to Kodiak Island, and then on to Homer and the mainland.
Good morning. How are you?
I'd been looking forward to riding the ferry, envisioning a relaxing, scenic cruise through the Aleutian Islands, whale watching, checking out the birds, and just kicking back for the ride. But it's been more like 5 days trapped on a public bus. The only saving grace? Free coffee.
I'm 7 and I'm Paige.
You're Paige?
Huh?
What page are you on?
7.
Where do you live?
Anchorage.
What are you doing on this boat?
Going to Anchorage.
Here we are. We're in Anchorage. Got in at 2:30 at night from Kodiak.
What's your name?
Tim Scheffler.
And where are you from?
Kodiak.
Kodiak where?
Alaska. My name's Kalani. I'm from K-Town, dog.
On your marks, get set, go. Oh, you all right?
Yes.
Now we're getting ready to hitchhike out to Wasilla. Here we go. Yes, sir.
My name's Cynthia Krause. My middle name's Louise. I live in Anchorage right now, so I just kind of felt like taking a road trip.
Where are we going?
We're going to the State Fair in Wasilla with Cynthia.
This one's 3.5 pounds. It's solid steel, so it won't flex on you. But look at the angles you're getting ready to sand. Those are the exact same angles that just made that cut. Same table, same miter gauge. That's called perfect duplication.